You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks, it's Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. Did you just talk over me? Welcome to the show, guys. That or some idiot hit the button too soon. Welcome to the big show. As always, my friends and family, the Chris Voss Show, the family that loves you, hugs you, puts his arms around you, and as long as you're a good person trying to be a good person, we support you. If you're evil, go watch the Joe Rogan Show. Anyway, guys, go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, youtube.com/Chris Voss, linkedin.com/Chris Voss, and all those are the crazy places on the internet. Joe Rogan's a good guy, don't get me wrong, but he does platform a lot of crazy conspiracy nonsense. We don't. So we fact check over here, folks. The oldest podcast in existence that still does 1 to 2 shows a day. Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. Today's featured author is brought to you by Majestic Authors Media, specializing in strategic marketing and publishing to help authors reach their ideal audience and maximize their book success, turning powerful messages into global impact, one story at a time. We have an amazing young lady joining us on the show today. We're going to be getting into her book and her insights so that we can find out more, because that's what we do on this show, and that's what we do as an audience. We try and learn more, grow more, know more, make your lives better. She is the author of the book called The Choice to Exceed Our Christian Education by Dr. Clara J. Ushman. We're going to get into it with her and find out all the deets of what she's up to, talking about, and why she thinks that's important for you. So listen up. Dr. Clara is a religious educator, author, and spiritual enthusiast. She is also a huge animal lover. She comes from a background of growing up in a split religion family, thus beginning her journey into the Christian education dynamic. Learning from 2 different Christian faiths was an early inspiration to explore the many aspects included under the Christian education umbrella. Through years of studying experience, Dr. Ushman continues to learn, develop, and encourage Christians of all faith backgrounds to maintain their daily hard work for future generations to carry out Christ's ministry. Welcome to the show. Doctor, how are you?
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. Give us .com's websites. Where do you want people to find you?
The website from my publisher is authorclaraushman.com. And I have quite a few book reviews out on Amazon under the Author Central that I encourage people to check out. And of course, Barnes & Noble happens to love me as well. So any one of those 3.
The old Barnes & Noble. I used to love going on Saturdays and going through books. And then after that, I'd go to the CD record store and peruse there. Yeah, I kind of like those analog days. I miss them. Give us a 30,000 overview. What's inside your book?
What's my what? I'm sorry.
Give us a 30,000 overview of what's inside your book.
How much time do we have? No.
we got at least an hour, 45 minutes or so.
I know, but the book goes back thousands of years. So with history.
Oh, grab your water, folks, and PB break now. So just an overview so people can get a synopsis, if you would.
Yeah, it goes back, like I said, it starts with Christian history, going back to the time when Christ was on earth and even before that. And of course, their society and religious pagan was a lot different than what we have today. But a lot of things that I visit in different denominations that have evolved over time, some of them are still the same and go back to that original basis, if you will. And then we have some that today are just completely different. And the biggest question or point that I usually get when I'm talking about the book is the last chapter, chapter 10, which I ask a lot of open-ended questions. And a lot of times I have people tell me that they just can't answer those. And I'm like, I want you to at least think about it. I'm not expecting a full answer, but I ask a lot of, what are we doing today in Christian education? Where is Christian education going to be 10 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now? how does it relate back to when it all started over 2,000 years ago? What happened then that's kept it going today? And what are we going to do today to keep it going in the future? Are we doing enough? Are we not doing enough? Is there more that could be done? Is technology getting in the way, or is it helping? Those are a lot of questions that I asked, and I've gotten a lot of different answers about those. And that's what I wanted. I don't see anything as being right or wrong. I want you to tell me what you think.
Questions are good because we learn things, right? You don't learn everything if you're like, I know it all. I don't have to ask any questions, right?
I do not know it all, I promise.
And you and me. I mean, the one thing about the Dunning-Kruger disease, if you understand that sort of thing, it's where people tend, this is a human nature fallacy, people tend to believe that they're masters of knowledge when they have a very small amount of it. And they collect it and go, I know how to do this. I am a master of this topic. But they've spent 5 minutes in it, right? Yeah. But people that are true potentially could be masters. I don't think you can ever be perfect or ever full master anything. But people that are on that journey, they know and they're aware of how fraught their inexperience and knowledge is. And they know that there's a huge learning curve that they still need to go through. And so there's some people like that. They're super confident, but they're totally ignorant. And there's the people who are intelligent, aren't super confident, and they know that they've got to buckle down and learn. So, yeah, little side thing there. I don't know.
I can definitely relate.
All of a sudden, the sponsor, sorry, I had to get that in there, paid for it.
No, I would say I can completely relate to that. As you said a few minutes ago, growing up in a split religion family, I was every single Sunday attending a Lutheran service and a Catholic mass.
Yeah, so, I was going to ask you about that. You may be the first person ever on the show.
I was one of those people, even as a teenager. I know everything there is to know about Catholic and Protestant because I see it every single week.
So now, is Lutheran Protestant or?
Yes.
I'm a layman, so I don't understand all these terms. I know the terms, but I one of the things I'm still in the dark on is I just call it Christianity. But I used to have an uncle who was a Southern Baptist preacher, and I remember his version of Southern Baptist. They didn't like dancing at all. Dancing was satanic and of the devil, kind of like Elvis Presley, hopping them hips a little bit when he would go out on stage. And some Baptists might think dancing, I don't know. It's like all these little flavors and nuances. So how you may be the first person I've ever met or talked to that's let me aware of this, that grew up in a dual religion home. What's it like to do that? Is there an identity issue? Was it a combative thing too? Your mom's like, my religion's better. Your dad's, what was that like?
Well, my mother's family is very, very German Lutheran.
Oh.
And my father and his family are very Catholic. So
very Italian.
Yes,
Germans versus the Italians.
Very much.
Sounds like a World War I.
Yeah, there was a lot of headbutting going on that I can remember. Yeah. And I ended up going to Catholic school, and my younger sister ended up going to Lutheran school. So if that tells you anything. So
did you have a choice in that, or was that?
No, not at the time. I certainly did not.
Wow. No. So was the household, did everyone get along with the religious stuff, or was there arguments and kind of like, if you ever had a parent who had two parents that had different political slants, you'd see the fights. Was there fights over which religion was better?
There was some that I tried to stay out of because I was, like I said, I was teenager or younger, so my opinion really didn't matter. And now I can say 47 years later, my parents are still together.
Well, that's good.
I know. And my mother will be the very first person to tell you the only reason they're still married is she worked days and he worked nights. They never saw each other. So
do they still do that? Some people can't.
No, now they're both going on a couple of years of being retired, and she's ready to throw him out the window. So.
Yeah. We saw a lot of that in COVID. People were like coming home from work, and they're like, "I'm a stay-at-home mom because I hate you, and I've just been avoiding you, but now you're here, and this is not going to work out." Vice versa, I suppose too. You're like, "Oh man, I got to look at you 24/7." I used to have employees that would call their girlfriends and call them. And they talk to them for 2 hours a day, and then we catch them and raise hell because I'm not paying you to talk to your girlfriend unless your girlfriend is my girlfriend. Anyway, I'm just doing jokes, folks.
No.
But yeah, never mind. I'm just doing jokes. It's comedy. And I would say to them, I'm like, what the hell do you have to talk to your girlfriend for 2 to 3 hours a day during the middle of the day? I'm like, the reason I go to work is so I can, number one, make money to pay for the expensive dinners and lifestyle. But number two is so that I can get some peace. And so that when I go home to my girlfriend, I feel refreshed. I'm happy to see her. I've worked all day. I'm just so over everyone at the office, the employees, and all the BS I have to do. And I can walk in the arms of someone who's hopefully in a feminine mood and she just wants some love. But sometimes some of my relationships that it was the opposite. One was kind of like going to work with the employees and job and hated you, and the other one was like just trying to get some love from your employees. Anyway, jokes. Yeah, that kind of. Do you think that maybe living in a household with two opposing religions at the forefront, do you think that made you think more about your religion, question it, research it more?
Absolutely. That's definitely what got me started. Very much so.
You're trying to figure out whether mom or dad were right, maybe?
I didn't really think of it as who was right and wrong. I just wanted to know more in depth of, okay, why do you focus on this, but you don't focus on this? Why is this important? Why is this important on your side, but not on your side? And why is that a complete difference? And my mother would give me some kind of biblical answer, which was great. And my father was just like, that's just the way we do it.
That's just
that does not answer my question.
Like a dad answer. The way it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's tradition. That's just the way we do it. Okay, where did that start? What does that mean? I don't know.
That reminds me of the turkey in the oven in the new housewife story, if you've ever heard it. Why do we do things the way we do? I don't know. That's the way we always did it. Let's call grandma and find out. Anyway, so you do a deep dive in this. Have you found that what's the religion that you choose? Do you think it's the right one or not?
I am practicing Catholic.
We have a winner here, folks.
Yes, I am practicing Catholic, and I very much stand by that.
Do you think the Catholic side of your family is just angry because when the German, I don't know if they were Lutherans, but when the Germans came, they kind of gave the Vatican a hard time, but they made a dirty deal. They did invade the Vatican. They didn't invade. I don't think they got in the property, the country itself. Maybe they're so butthurt over that 50 years later.
Very possible.
I'm just doing jokes.
Very possible.
It's possible. It's the Germans were real jerks. So.
I would say on my mother's side, like her mother and then her grandmother, they're both passed on now, but they were both very, very anti-Catholic in every way you can think of.
Really? Wow.
So they might have had that same theory that you were just going with. They were very much, the Pope is not Christ. Why do you worship the Pope? There should not be a Pope. You do not need any kind of leadership like that. And Mary was Jesus's mother, but not the mother of God. And I'm like, okay, you're kind of causing a controversy there, but this was hardcore in them that you just did not discuss.
Yeah. You could, I'd do it if I was your dad and I was getting stuck in arguments like that. I'd just be like, we could be Mormon. So there's that.
I've never heard him say that, but yeah.
That would have been a good deflection. Have him call me for more future deflections.
I certainly can. You'd have a wonderful conversation with him.
I'm an atheist, so they just burn me at the cross.
That would make it even more interesting.
Yeah, I'm already having that now. The weather's like 102 here with 40% humidity. Anyway, enough cross jokes. So you delve this, you flesh this out in your book, you study it, you go through the history, and I think one of the things you might be concerned about, and I'm gonna just ask this as a question, but you mentioned something about how understanding the past education and also understanding the future education and who's going to carry that torch forward. Is that a good assessment?
Yes, definitely.
And what are some of the challenges that you found or put out in your book? What are some of the impetuses that maybe need to be overcome in achieving that goal?
Definitely, like you said, going back with the history, for me, if you're going to tell a story or you're going to research something, you got to start at the beginning. There has to be a beginning and there has to be a foundation. So that's why I go back to the time when Jesus was on earth. We got to start somewhere. And obviously, a lot of things have evolved as far as society, religion, and all kinds. And I would like to point out that the book was published in 2024, but it was started as my doctorate dissertation in 2015, which, as we all know, was pre-COVID. And I feel like, if I was to write a part 2 to this after COVID, I think a lot of my questions that I asked originally could be even taken further or taken a step backwards almost. So, my theory, or my questions about what are we doing to keep things going, I feel when the whole world disappeared for over a year, it hasn't entirely come back yet.
I think we need an international mental health, free mental health. I
agree.
For a few years after all that. I still have people that won't come out to events or do anything public.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah.
They have a stranger danger syndrome. And you're like, you're a 50-year-old adult. Well, you're afraid of stranger? And this is something that children are taught for good purpose. But I do have a van and free candy at the park, 50-year-olds. So come on down. I used to love that candy. Waking up from the headache was always bad, though. Anyway, so you delve into the depth of this. What are some other aspects of your book that you want people to know about?
I just want them to know in their own community, are they even aware of what resources are available to them? And if it's not even from a religious perspective, what is in your own community? And like you said, a lot of people don't even like to go out anymore for that. And COVID was 5-6 years ago, and we're still kind of dealing with that. And it's like, what are you afraid of? What's going on in your own backyard that you don't even know about? I've been a member of my parish for 20 years, and I'm still amazed sometimes. Wow, I didn't even know my parish offered that. I've been here for 20 years. Yeah. So I know that there's plenty of people out there that don't even know what's available. Either they don't ask, or they just don't care, or like my dad, it's just the way it is. And they just don't think anything of it. How are you going to evolve for your children, your grandchildren, if you want to pass on to them, but you're not taking the initiative yourself?
Now, how do you define Christian education in the vernacular that you're using it in? I would think that when people go to church, there's a pastor up there, he educates and serves up a sermon that is supposed to teach you about stuff. You go to Sunday school maybe and different things, whatever. And what does Christian education mean towards you in this concept of making sure it moves forward?
Well, I go off in a few different directions. Surprise, surprise. But Christianity as a whole, I've always liked the umbrella theory, that there's so many different denominations under that one umbrella that you can, and one of my chapters breaks down a lot of those. And I know there's some out there that I probably don't even know about. But as far as keeping we all have the same core, that we are followers of Christ, where the name Christian comes from. And one thing that I personally get bothered by is, like I said a few minutes ago, the Lutheran is a Protestant. Anything that's not Catholic is under the Protestant umbrella. You're not Christian, you're Catholic.
Do people say that? Because I always
say that to me, and especially about the book. And like, how can you be Catholic and write a book about Christian education? If I'm Catholic, how am I not Christian? I want to know your answer to that.
Isn't Christianity anyone who believes in Christ or the Bible?
Thank you.
I'm just an atheist. What do I know?
I know, but but you're right. Like I said, Christian is follower of Christ. I'm like, okay, that's what I was. If you're going to say I'm Catholic, but I'm not a Christian, okay, you're Methodist. What are you? Or Lutheran, or whatever it may be. Yeah. Why is my particular one any different?
Yeah, it is confusing. I remember when I was growing up, I don't think I knew the distinction between some of these as I grew old. I think I had Catholics maybe in our family, or maybe I knew some people at Catholic, and then, they're and Christian too.
Yeah, every denomination is going to have its own worship styles, its own beliefs, its own cores, but we're all under the same followers of Christ. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell one religion that, okay, we do it this way, so we're right, you're wrong. I would never say that.
Yeah. Then there's Scientology. I believe their god is Zerg.
I think I talked about that a little bit too.
Do you really? Who is their god, anyways? It's the guy in the volcano or whatever. I don't. Or is it John Travolta?
That one that one could be determined a few different ways, but
depends on who comes out of the closet first.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, they're both fine people. Don't sue me, Tom. Anyway, I realize you're short. Anyway, so Christian education now, I imagine it means maybe researching and studying the books, the history, the education. One thing you talk about in the book, I believe, is has history changed? Has history repeated itself over time for better or worse? What's your status opinion on that?
I definitely see it from both sides. I think that there are things that have changed, and I think that there are things that have repeated. When they say history repeats itself, I completely agree with that.
Yeah. As long as we don't do that Noah flood thing again, that was kind of...
No, I don't really want that to happen again. No, but we've had centuries of wars that have happened because of religious beliefs, and that's still going on. And it doesn't even always have to be political. Sometimes it's just basic, I'm right, you're wrong kind of thing. So let's go to war over it. We're still dealing with that today.
There's some countries that have, what do they call those things? Civil wars over that.
Yeah, so that's been going on forever. And is it ever going to stop? Probably not. I wish it would. But like you said, if you're not willing to be open-minded or discuss anything, it's going to continue to happen.
Yeah. And understanding things is like what we attributed earlier in the show about the Dunning-Kruger disease. There are a lot of people that walk around and they bark out they parrot the Christian lines and principles and stuff. But you watch their lives and you're like, I read the Bible. I don't really think that's in there, number one. And number two, I don't think you're walking the talk, but you're talking the talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's some people like that, and everything is in a different subject. But they think if they just parrot the sayings, then they're doing enough to validate their religion. And you're like, maybe you should study some of those things you say a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know.
But then at the same time, you got plenty of people. Ignorance is bliss. I'd rather not know. You know, I'm right. I know what I need to know. Okay.
Yeah. And some people do that. They sign up for stuff and they figure. We joke about that on the show sometimes, where I own hundreds of books in physical form and on Audible. Yet I've read probably 10% of them. But you have this mentality that I bought the book, so it's sitting on the shelf next to me. So there's probably some intellectual frequency assimilation that's taking place. That basically I read the book after a few months. You figure since you bought the book, you're in it. Yeah.
I've had that with my own books. I'm like, oh, you've had it for a couple months now. What'd you think of? Oh, I haven't gotten to it yet. Then why did you ask me for a copy?
I know. I do that too. I have people, if I get a book, I'll have them send me an autograph copy, and I like that. But sometimes I don't even read the book if it has an autograph. I'm like, if I read that book, I might mess up the ink in the front of the autograph. So maybe I should just, I don't know, look at it.
I feel like I should write a hidden message like on page 200. Did you read this far?
If you read this far, you get $1 million.
Yeah. Did you actually read this?
Yeah.
I might have to do that.
So what other things in your book that you talk about? What are some other things we can tease out about it?
The other thing, like I said, the history repeats itself, but then the things that do change is, like I said, technology for today and just society in general has completely shifted from where it was when Christ walked the earth. We didn't have the computers and internet, and a lot of things weren't even written down yet. They were just pictures or chiseled. A lot of it was by word of mouth. And a lot of stories in your own family might be coming from word of mouth. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're keeping it passed on. So I say keep doing that. But today, we have so much of a reliance on our phones and the internet. You can't go outside without it. But is that the answer for reaching out and teaching education or evangelizing? Or are we just using that as something to fall back on?
Yeah. And so, some people spend more time talking about something than they do. Wait, is that why I have a podcast?
Maybe.
I do my podcast to avoid doing any work. Because I love this, but everything else is work. But I get to meet such wonderful people, and I get to learn so much stuff that I'm probably too smart for my own good at this point. Nah. My dogs watched me do a bunch of stupid stuff yesterday, so they were in the back going, yeah, he's still an idiot. They're huskies, so they always look at you with that judgment.
Well, I will send you a quiz later, and we'll see how you do.
Okay. All right. I'm going to flunk for sure. I was horrible in school. I'm horrible. If you give me a test, I'm bad. That's why I'm still single. Anyway, let's talk about, you have two other books, one that is published and one that's forthcoming. Let's talk about the second one.
The second one was published last year in 2025, and it is called When Your Faith Choices Are Unclear, Responding to God's Call. And that book is very much my own story of having the split religion family and asking my own questions and what kind of answers I was getting or not getting, or why particular people would get angry at me for asking questions that they should know. And it's basically like my own religious autobiography that tells my story of what I went through up until now. And that one could always have a part 2 also. I'd like to think I still got more to learn.
Yeah. It's almost like a bipolar sort of experience to grow up in that environment, right? Because you got one person going, no, that's wrong, and the other person's going, that's right. And you're like, wasn't this all in the Bible? And there should just be like one version of the Bible, maybe.
Yeah.
But I had that same problem where in growing up in the Mormon cult, where you would get told things and you would ask questions. And boy, did they not like you asking questions. And it'd be just shut up and have faith. Oh, you're asking questions the devil would ask. And you're like, I haven't talked to the devil lately this week. He hasn't been returning my calls, but maybe you can answer my question. And it was just simple stuff. George Carlin bits. If he's an all-knowing, all-loving God and he loves me infinitely, but if I don't do what he says and I don't know, jump when he says jump, then I'm going to go burn in hell forever and ever and eternity and suffer and hellfire and damnation. I'm like, that doesn't sound like a loving God. So make that make sense. And then I think my favorite other thing to throw at the elders was, so you're telling me that God planned this whole thing and he knew what we were going to do when he put us on earth, but he still wanted to treat us like a hamster cage. So we would do what he knew we were going to do. And thereby, since he knew what we were going to do, he would know that we would do bad shit and go to hell. And so you're telling me that Judas was sent here for the purpose of betraying Jesus and doing that whole bit. But did anybody ask Judas if he wanted a part in this movie? Seems kind of damning if you're like, hey, you know, the Judas guy, he's kind of a jerk. No one likes him. Let's throw him down there and let's have him participate in this thing. And he's going to go to hell over it. And Judas is probably in hell right now going, no one told me. I didn't understand what was going on. And so anyway, I would ask him about that. And they'd be like, just shut up and have faith. You just They hated me. They hated me.
And like I said, there's my dad. Yeah, it is what it is.
And I just want answers. I mean, even if they would have said, hey, this is something we don't know, fine. Sometimes they'd try and bullshit with me. It's like some sort of parroting, blah, 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 blah. And I just feel like, you didn't answer the question. I was like an interrogator kid. So I should have been a cop maybe when I growing up, or an attorney, I guess. I know I should have been an attorney. So yeah, you know, it's important to understand your religion. It's important to understand your knowledge. And if you enjoy your faith, you should be constantly, what's the right word? You should be constantly maintaining that and deepening that and spending time. It's kind of like learning any sort of skill, meditation, robbing banks, murdering people. No, just don't do that, folks. But it's like any sort of skill or maybe something you enjoy doing. I enjoy photography, I enjoy podcasting, so I do it more. Yeah, but when you tell people just shut up and just have faith, I'm sorry, that's just not good enough. Maybe that is for some people, but and that's kind of a blind faith. You know, because then I meet you and you tell me something, not you specifically, but I meet somebody, they tell me something. And I go, I read the Bible. That's bullshit. That's not in there, dude. Like, you know, and I'm like, wait, you're a Christian. I'm not. And I know more about what's in your book than you do. That's not a good sign. So
it happens more than you think.
Oh, yeah, it does. I'm an atheist, so we collect those.
Yeah.
It's better when people, they know the religion and they know what the book says. And also they walk the talk. That's the main thing everyone's looking for. Because I can know what to do right, but if I don't do it, then we all have problems, right?
Yeah.
Some criminals know what you're supposed to do, but some are just going to end up in jail because they're not going to do them. So you have that book, and then what's the forthcoming book that you have coming out?
The one that I have in the works, I don't actually have a title for it yet, but it's going to be something about trying to find God in the workplace. Because I am a social worker, so I deal with anything you can possibly think of. And I am also a volunteer chaplain at the hospital. And a little bit to piggyback off what you said a few minutes ago about not having the answers, I get okay, if God is all loving, why is this happening to me? Why am I dealing with this horrible situation? Why can I not get out of this? Why am I in the hospital for this reason? Or why can I not feed my children? Whatever it may be. You're like, okay, how am I supposed to find God in all that? That's a question I'll get thrown at me a lot.
Yeah. People have questions, man. And do you have an anticipated date when that book is going to come out?
As soon as I sit down and start writing on it more,
Oh,
I'm only a couple chapters in. I'm hoping by 2027.
That should be good.
It will not be this year.
All right. That's awesome. We definitely want to see stuff come out like that and all that good stuff. So as we round out the show, anything more we want to discuss? Maybe I should have asked you or we left off the table.
The only other thing that I want to mention to you and to your audience is I was approached about a year ago about this book being made into a documentary to be aired on PBS. So it is actually being filmed into a 6-episode documentary.
Oh, wow.
And I do not know when the release date for that will be yet. I'm only getting to see pieces of it so far. I've never been a PBS person, but now I am. So I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to come up with and hope that it doesn't stray too far from the book.
Is there an anticipated release for that?
They have not told me yet.
Okay. All right. Sounds good then. We'll look forward to see. Give people a final pitch out to order up your books and .coms where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Yep. That is.
Go ahead.
I don't even remember what I was going to say.
Just asking you for a final pitch out. Give people your final pitch to tell them to go buy your books or else.
I'm not going to say it like that, but I would appreciate it if you would. And my only tidbit that I like to say is, yes, things are going to get hard. Life is going to get horrible, but you are here for a reason and you will continue to move forward. It's not going to be an easy road, but it is the road that you're on and you will make it, I promise.
Do the work, as they like to say, or
yes, very much.
But do the work and but also enjoy life. Watch it go by and enjoy experiencing and stuff. Folks, you can order up Clara's book wherever fine books are sold. The Choice to Exceed Our Christian Education. Thank you very much Clara for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. We had a lot of fun.
We did.
Thanks to our audience for tuning in as well. Hopefully you had fun. And if you didn't, go listen to the show again because you missed something clearly. Anyway, go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Stop everyone on the street and tell them to subscribe to the show. Be good to each other. Stay safe. That might not end well. Be careful. Don't do that. We'll see you guys next time.
You've been listening to the most amazing, intelligent podcast ever made to improve your brain and your life. Warning, consuming too much of the Chris Voss Show podcast can lead to people thinking you're smarter, younger, and irresistible sexy. Consume in regularly moderated amounts. Consult a doctor for any resulting brain bleed.